Yeah, I mean, we can get started right now.
Okay, well, go ahead, hit that button, brother.
Cool then.
They couldn't possibly fucking know, dog.
All the buttons in the right order. What's up? Welcome everybody to Kasson Avenue, not a podcast, episode number 189. I'm gonna keep on with that. Thank you all for joining us today. Happy Sunday, and
Well, it's a Sunday for us.
Well-
For you, it's Tuesday.
yeah.
Or literally any day.
Yeah, that's true. Whatever day you watch this. Well, welcome back to school, all you little motherfuckers who had to go back because you are not
so happy.
out here now.
Yo, I'm so happy the kids aren't fucking outside.
It's so funny the route that we take as adults. And
Okay, so I really have I don't know where I fall on any of this because I hate kids working at fast food restaurants,
that's true.
right? But if they didn't, they'd be more in the streets. And then I hate the kids that drive, right? I'm okay. So here, let me say.
I just like during the day where they're not around.
I have a stance that I say that one, I feel like kids should get summer break. One part of me, like, man, like they should enjoy that large section of time where it's like school. There's nothing to do. We hang out for a couple months, then we go back.
Yeah.
The other part of me says they should be in school every fucking 365 days a year. They should be in school. Stay the fuck out of the streets.
Which is like so contradictory to any actual feeling you have about school.
Yeah, like I don't want to be there, but they should definitely stay in there and stop fucking with my day.
Before we go any further, I am your host, Adam, here with my brother, Osama. The dog is here as well. Listen, if you are one of those kids that we're talking about and you happen to be watching this, we're not talking about you.
One of those kids, all of those fucking kids. We're talking to every one of you. If you're watching him, I mean, I don't know how you even found us, to be honest with you. But
Well, listen, if you are watching, I mean, you're in school, you got a bunch of little other people around you. Just let them know, man. Put them on game. That's how things get popular.
Yeah.
Through high school.
yeah, and since you're gonna be there for 365 days,
You got plenty of time to tell everybody you know. So.
dude, like, do you remember during COVID how empty the streets were when you drove around?
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was like driving around at on Thanksgiving morning, you know? There's like a few cars getting to
Why
their destination.
specifically that morning?
Because I always remember Thanksgiving. Anytime I have to go out and drive, there's like nobody on the road.
Like Christmas, though. Christmas is the same way.
Well, it's true, especially if there's a snow.
Yeah, yes.
But
for sure.
I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just that's what I went with.
No, it's something nice about like the idea that not that it really happened, but a little bit of I Am Legend kind of occurred. Like
Yeah, it's like a Silent Hill kind
People
of.
are still around and they're not zombies.
It's like a little bit misty, so it's kind of like Silent Hill. Like,
I mean, I don't want people to be zombies. I just don't want them to be always around. You know what I mean?
nah, word.
Yeah. So
Yeah, population crisis. But
in the office, Dwight says he's like, "There's too many fucking people. There's too many people on this earth. We need a new plague." Like, and then it happened. And then
it did.
happened.
It did. And like they keep talking about the next one, and like it's like coming from like where you would think are reputable media, right?
There's no reputable media.
Well, I said
We're
what
more
you would-
reputable
I
than
said
the
what
other.
you would think.
We're more reputable than the media that actually gives people the news.
I agree, man. We give you all the realist of shit here, you know.
No, not really. But we're
Well, to be fair,
we got integrity.
We don't do too much of like potting, you know. Like that's why we're not a podcast. We
'Cause
just talk. We just talk. Man.
So you have brought up the idea of like Thanksgiving morning, and everything being super fucking desolate.
Yeah.
And I remember. Do you remember that big ass snowstorm? The snowpocalypse, the one where everybody was stuck on Lakeshore Drive in the snow.
Mm-hmm.
It was like in 2010.
Yeah.
Maybe was it 2010?
It was at least around there. Like
2010,
Yeah,
2011. I don't remember if it was beginning of 2011. And
we don't
anyway.
remember exactly when the
Yeah.
snowstorms happened.
But
because
this was like one of the bigger snowstorms we've seen, and it occurred in such a small period of time that the city didn't have the ability to like catch up. So at some point, if you're familiar with Chicago, there's Lakeshore Drive. It's basically what is the road on Lakeshore.
it's where you drive.
It's literally a Lakeshore Drive. And
I was laughing because they call it LSD for short sometimes. I'm
Yeah.
like, it just doesn't. It's like a weird association with that already. So how are you gonna like?
I called it LSD too, but no. There. So what happened was I don't remember why, but for some reason there was either a traffic jam or the snow had piled up and within a drift. There's also water that from Lakeshore, the lake that somehow makes its way over.
Gets choppy, man. And
So
waves start hitting.
This whatever happened was all these cars had to stall, and the snow dumped on them so fucking quick that people were stranded in their cars on Lakeshore Drive.
Yep.
But I remember we left work, and I think that we were supposed to go in the other day. But what I decided was that if the kids get a snow day, I get a snow day. And then the kids got another snow day. So guess what I did? Guess what I did when they took that?
Took another day?
You're fucking right. I took a second snow day. I have a picture somewhere of our neighborhood that next morning.
Yo, if CPS, because if CPS decides that they're gonna give the kids a snow day, like that's enough for you to be like, all right, the city wants these guys to stop moving.
If they're going, I'm not doing shit.
Like, you should automatically call me, tell me to stay home and pay me.
Yeah, there's no way. I'm not doing
have to
shit.
call in and use my time for that.
I remember walking to Walgreens and there was like it was like nobody was alive. It was like literally no cars. It was silent. It was like walking through, in video games when you're like in The Last of Us, there's parts where you're like walking through like snowy areas and it's just like the crunch of the snow and just silence. You wouldn't have you would have thought that nobody was alive. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But that was an interesting time to be around because obviously
the snowstorms kind of make it where you really can't like be around as much as you'd like to be anyway. Like
obviously, but I mean, you didn't see because it was so much snow on the ground on the roads and everything. Nobody was driving because nobody wanted to get stuck.
Yeah.
And they had basically told people not to go to work essentially. So, but yeah, I just remember that being a thing. And
that's also funny how that changes. Like as a kid, you're like, hell yeah, like we got a big ass snowstorm, it's gonna be great. And as an adult, you're like, fuck man, like it stops me from doing things I need to do.
This is bullshit. I got a shovel.
Man, being an adult sucks.
I worked for a paint store, and they were all old folks besides me. So during the
shout out to those boys. Huh?
During the winter, yeah, shout out to them. During the winter, I had the shovel, only me, and they didn't have like a snow blower.
You had a better back.
I had I think it hurt my back, but I had only a fucking shovel. They didn't no machines to help me, so I had to shovel the back parking lot. And then the whole front. And then they wanted me to shovel. If it accumulated like a half inch, I had to keep up with it. I was like, dude, I fucking hate you old fucks. This is bullshit.
I think that's like...
I didn't hate them, but I did hate them.
I think it's unique to snowy places that people have bad backs. I think in a place where it's not snowy, they don't have bad backs.
I don't think that's true. They got their own battles.
I mean, but listen, you like pretty much as an adult man in Chicago, you have to go out and shovel at some point. And that shit, like... We get some big storms doing that shit.
That's not true.
For the most part.
No, there's a lot of people that probably live in high rises that have no...
Well, fine, but the people who have to do it yearly, and do it every time it snows...
And if you live in an apartment, and you're not the owner.
Yeah, but people do it anyway. I mean, they got places to go. They can't wait for the fucking landlord to come and be like, let me clean this snow.
I've never once walked outside and saw my tenant shoveling the snow. I would be fucking
give their punk
grateful.
asses a shovel. Like, oh.
I'd be really grateful for that. I'd be like, well, thank you, man. I couldn't get to it. I was at work and I had things to do.
Yeah.
I hate that feeling. I know I have to shovel, but I'm also on my way to work. But listen, one of these things I have to go to. The other one, you're just gonna have to sit there and deal with it.
If I know snow's coming, I go out there and hit it with a bunch of salt. I always make sure in the beginning of the winter I got a couple bags of salt. Became an adult at some point in my life, or at least in some situations. And then after it snows, obviously the salt melts the snow on the bottom and it's icy, so I have to do it again.
You don't have a sidewalk out there, right? Like a real sidewalk?
Just on the side.
So what I was gonna ask, what's your method? Are you the guy that clears the whole path, or are you just enough for your feet to get through guy?
It depends. I get mad because there's a guy down the street somewhere that he tries to help, right? Because he has a fucking snowblower, so he goes down the entire road.
But just one.
But that doesn't work for me because now you compacted all the snow and it's icy, and the dog needs to walk, and I have to walk him, and I'm gonna bust That's why I try. Salt is important.
Man, busting your shit in the snow is fucked up.
On the ice.
When people see you do it, oh man. So I was at the gym the other day, right?
But it's August.
Well, no. This just prompted me to remind you because I was thinking about falling. Yeah. All right. So I was at the gym actually yesterday morning. I was at the gym in the morning, and I was doing some pull-ups. So they got the little stool, so I don't have to jump up to it a little bit. I was like, I can.
Wow, that's like the geriatric gym. They make sure that you don't have to.
No,
jump
I
up
mean,
there.
there's like stools for people to like do step ups and shit like that. So I just grabbed it so I can.
Oh, so you made it geriatric.
You're a geriatric. You fuck. So I went up there so I could go. So I just do a nice hanging start. So I was putting it down and I went to go grab, and as I grabbed, I thought I was on the majority of the stool. Turns out I was on the fucking far right of it, and it just went. Poof, and I kind of like.
They just bust your shit.
No, I didn't bust my shit, but it was obvious I fell. Right? You knew I fell.
If you were there, like somebody, you're probably giggling or trying to not giggle at.
Well,
just having seen that.
you just haven't let me finish my story. So there was a girl there, right? And I turned around and she went like this. I was like, bitch, that is the if there was ever a look to say I saw it, but I didn't want anybody to know that I saw it, it's this look. You'd be like,
hey, listen, man, if you fall, you got to be embarrassed, not me. I'm going to look.
I wasn't embarrassed because I'm like, fuck it, whatever, man.
I've fallen in public
Watch how many pull-ups I bang out right now, bitch. But no, at the same time, it was. I mean, it depends. Like, you ever been walking with sandals and like you trip over the front flap of the sandal?
Done that.
And
never run in sandals. It's not a good idea.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Bad idea.
I don't think running barefoot is a good
except
idea.
if you're an old Asian guy and you're hooping. Those motherfuckers always playing sandals and they're good. I've never not.
Are you talking about like Shanghai Knights? What do you?
No, I'm talking about literally
ninjas?
like if you go to a park and you're hooping and there's an Asian guy there and he happens to be an older gentleman, he's wearing sandals. He probably got a good shot.
You ever notice how most for instance, like there's always like a Filipino basketball team and then a it's like almost segregated in a sense.
Yeah.
It was funny.
It's the Olympics.
That's why it was so
literally divide
funny
the
that
whole
we were
world.
put in the IBL. It was a whole bunch of Asians, me, you, and then I think there was like a black dude and then one white guy. Like,
Yeah.
That was it. With like a whole bunch of Asians and shit.
Yeah, it's true.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah. That was a good time, man. I'd hate thinking about it.
I always resort back to that 2 months we played basketball.
I always wish it was like we got another season of it.
I do too. I wish it would have continued. It would have been great.
I still got the shirt,
I still got mine. I hoop in it from time to time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play Thursday. Again.
Nice. I'm in a get in shape mode again.
That's good, man. Get in some shape.
Like I had already been in that mode, and then I had COVID, and then it took me out of it for a couple weeks. I wasn't about to try to work out.
COVID will do that to you.
Yeah, and then so I'm like in the process of getting back into it, and I was making a joke out of it, but it's actually true that we talked the other day. I was like, if you're sore and you're getting into shape, you're not in shape.
Oh, you're definitely not.
So then,
in
like,
shape.
I'm going up and down the stairs, right? And then, like, your fat jiggles, and then it hurts because, like, you're sore. And
All
shit.
right, so I'd like to point something out right here, okay? Firstly, Adam's been calling me old and geriatric. Now, maybe
Now, listen,
age-wise. Oh, shut up.
When you say,
Hold on.
when
Don't
you say
talk.
fat,
No,
I'm
you
not
be
saying
tell-
that
no.
I'm like a fucking.
Well, we know you're out of
Yeah.
shape, firstly. Firstly.
I mean,
you tell me the only exercise you get is running around with your dog.
It's not true.
He is not
true.
him himself. He is a shapely character. So I know that you
He's
ain't
lost
losing.
weight. Over here talking about shit.
No, but Adam likes to call me old, and
No,
yes,
you are, though.
Yes, on the meter of
there's
numbers,
things-
I am above Adam.
There's things that, from a technical viewpoint, are true.
But also,
just talked about how the
from a
truth is not black
realistic
and- is not
standpoint,
gray.
we can tell that one of us is a little bit more out of shape than the other. And if you don't know,
I don't know what you mean. We can tell because I don't think there's a solid way to be like, yeah, that's true.
it is true.
What's up then?
You just discussed running up the stairs with titties jiggling and shit.
Hey man, listen. If you ran sore, you're gonna feel a jiggle as you run down the
If I
stairs.
ran sore,
If you ran and you were sore,
are you talking about being sore, like, and you feel
Yeah,
the
and you
muscles,
feel it.
the muscles dropping up and down?
That's exactly right.
I feel like
Some of it's fat though. I'm not.
You ever been on the
completely
treadmill
ignorant to
and your titties were jumping up and down? You're like, yo, I thought that I work out, but why do my titties jump so much? Damn, Daddy, I didn't know you had titties. And why he have to? That's hilarious to me that he slapped his dad's side boob. That shit's funny, man.
Yeah, he called him out on it, and then he smacked
And then we got to certify this in the mail today. He's like, a what?
fired.
And I got fired. He's like,
I was every Sunday I'm here. I'm thinking about it. I'm laughing, right? Because I vacuum before you come. Not necessarily just because you're here, but
I'd like
because
for people to see the way Adam vacuums.
you have to do like a dance with the vacuum.
Let me do my dance. Listen,
Like
the way
if you can relate.
The way Adam vacuums is really hilarious. So, precursor, our mother, when we were younger, the way she would vacuum was very, what's the word? Anal compulsive?
It was
OCD-ish?
she was making sure she vacuumed the whole carpet, but
Yeah.
what she was OCD about was those fucking tracks.
Like the tracks, so it looks like you vacuum.
Like if you know those carpets, you can make an impression in one way or the other.
Like when we detailed, like those, fuck, you fucked it up. We got to do it again.
So she had her choo-choo tracks, as she calls them.
The choo-choo, yeah, which sounds hilarious.
It's very
But
funny.
Adam now,
but she does
also,
not like if you go and walk on the carpet afterwards.
Yeah, but like
I'm not like that.
Ma, what am I supposed to do?
I just vacuum this room.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. But we're talking about like the method in which you do it.
Yeah.
I guess
You got to do a little jig with the vacuum, man.
you do have to have a method to the madness, right? You got to start here, do that.
And that vacuum, for what it's worth, is heavy as fuck.
that vacuum sucks the shit out the carpet, man.
That shit is heavy, like sore arm afterwards type of shit. That's why I had to start doing push-ups and sit-ups again.
That's, ladies and gentlemen, another way you could find out who Adam can't push a vacuum without being sore.
Whoa! Let me just tell you,
It's heavy.
That shit.
Oh my god.
That shit is heavy and it's on the carpet, so
That
you have to
fucking-
push it a little bit. Your little elbow into it. Your little.
It's got wheels and it's a fucking.
It's on the carpet.
It's a plastic machine.
How many times do wheels work well on a carpet? Other than like
when they test them so it works on carpets like the one you have? Listen, vacuums have been around for years, man. Caster wheels have come a long way.
Hey man, listen.
Don't get
What do you
mad
want me to tell you?
because you're out of shape.
Vacuum is heavy.
The vacuum is a vacuum. It ain't got that damn heavy. It can't be.
I do upstairs and downstairs. That's a lot of.
You,
anyway, this is
sir, need to get on your game.
word. I mean,
Go jog a little bit till your titties stop shaking.
Hey, listen.
Now, okay, so I don't think it's a problem when they jump up and down. I think it's a problem when they jump up and down, and then you stop, and they keep jumping up and down.
I
Be like,
agree.
hey, stop!
Yeah, you don't want that. Like a
Yeah.
reverberation.
As a
titty.
man,
Yeah.
women titties are different.
The right titties do that. Like when you got like some fake ones, they don't do that so much.
So what do they? Is
I'm
it
a
like one
natural-
shakes like this, the other one stops? It's like a
I don't. Yeah,
Like
it's not in sync.
not
I'm
in
a
sync.
natural titty proponent.
a natural titty proponent.
Yeah.
I am a proponent of natural titties. Is what you probably wanted to say.
Yeah. Well, whatever. You got the gist clearly. So.
Yeah, just clearly yes.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So that's you have to like kind of swing the vacuum around and shit.
I never
man.
thought I'd hear anybody say that vacuuming was a workout.
Um.
Until my little brother did, and I realized, oh, he would definitely say that.
Well, the whole point was just about the movements that you had to make as you're vacuuming.
No, it became about how heavy the vacuum was to you.
It's like you can't help but like look a little sweet as you're vacuuming the house.
It look a little sweet.
I couldn't see me, luckily. So
You couldn't see. I'm gonna record Adam real quick. Show his little.
yeah, see, so you don't have any
Don't be such a.
proof about any of that.
Oh,
you
what?
know? You don't have any visual evidence that
About you vacuuming?
Yeah.
No, I don't. It's never occurred to me to record you. But now that you say that you feel like it's too heavy for you, I might feel a different way about it. Record you.
I never said it was too heavy for me.
Sounds like
It's
you
not
did.
mince words here.
You sound like you did.
Well, you're wrong.
I got to go upstairs with it. It's like you got to move it so hard. It's like it's just a fucking heavy machine, man.
I wish that we every week could come in here with fresh haircuts, both of us.
Yep,
It looks a lot better that way.
I do too.
It looks
I
a lot
think
cleaner,
So I've gone. I went Thursday, and my birthday is this week coming up, and so I'm going Friday again.
See, and you're getting older, just how it goes.
Yeah,
But I will say, man, this year, it's fucking September damn near. Like,
no shit.
how the fuck did that happen so
the
fast?
year went by quickly.
It did. I'm trying to like pinpoint what is it about adulthood that makes time just go by real fast.
What Joseph would say, my 20s flew by with no control of the shit. She said that it go by even faster, even older you get. It's just the way it works.
Fucked up. That's fucked up.
That's fucked up.
No, because like, yeah. So I think that's the problem. That problem really occurs when you have like a corporate 9 to 5, because your day is based around your employment.
My theory, I think I've told people a lot after high school specifically. Like you're out of this structured day that has been the way of your life for 18 years, well, like 15 years, 13, whatever it is after, however, when you start school. Mm-hmm. But you've had this way of life for so long that it's been broken down into school day, weekend, school, school week, weekend, long periods of like breaks, weeks, for spring break, Christmas break, summer break. So the way
they call it summer vacation,
but every day was long because you're sitting in class not wanting to be there.
Yeah.
So I think after that, your days become your own in a sense. So like, in college, you're structuring your own day to be how you would like it to be. You start working 9 to 5s, like you're saying. 9 to 5s, you're wishing the week away, trying to get to the weekend. The weekend is chores and maybe a little activity. That goes by so fucking fast. Next thing you know, it's Monday again. You don't want Monday. You want Friday, so you wish the week again. Like, it just happens to go so fast, and you look up and you've wished 52 weeks away in the fucking blink of an eye.
Yeah, because I guess summertime, then it went by really fast.
Always.
And
because you try to make the best of it. You're always trying to do something.
Yeah, I guess like if you're in a place you don't want to be, that's going to drag the time. Then when you're like you don't have to be there, then time's going to go by faster. As an adult, you're at a place where you pretty much have to be, and you schedule your day around it.
Yep.
And then that's pretty much now where you're at.
I mean, think about it. Like our pops, for instance, he's on his commute for work is to and from collectively a 3-hour window in addition to his actual workday, right? So he's out of the house for 11 hours. 11 hours, and that's crazy because that means that his day is just essentially that because he gets home, he eats, watches a little TV, gets ready to go to bed, does it again the next day.
Yep.
I get home by like 4:30.
Crazy system they got.
4:30, 5 o'clock after the gym.
Yeah.
And I mean, I go to bed by like 10:30. I try to. Doesn't mean I'm asleep, but I try to. So I got 5 hours. I got to eat. I got to shower, right? I got to do a couple of things around the house. So let's say that's like in itself 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I got 2.5 hours left. Watch a little TV, hang out with Vivi.
Yeah, rhyme too.
There you go. I'm rapping. Rapping and tap.
You had a whole bar right there, man.
I did have a bar.
So I'm going to hang out, watch a little TV,
Bars.
hang out with Vivi.
I know you can't see me. Indubitably. So yeah,
I couldn't get the 3 people.
That's why I think, man. Like I think that's why things just seem to go by so fast because we are just kind of like constantly just trying to like get through the workday so we can get home, but we only got a few hours there.
It really is a rat race.
It is. It is.
That's a whole depressing subject,
Like this weekend, like honestly, like I had my my 20-year high school reunion yesterday, which was pretty cool. Shout out to everybody that was there. My graduating class. 2003, bitch. Mm-hmm. It was a fun little time, man. Honestly, it was good seeing people. It's just it's weird to see it because everybody looks the same, just older.
How often do you think people go to their high school reunions that like they weren't aware that it's probably not going to be a fun time for them, and then they just go there?
Why not fun? What do you mean?
I don't know, like high school. Some people keep their same persona from high school, and usually those are the people who are like were looked at a certain way, and then the ones who looked at them a certain way.
So you're saying like people's reputations within high school of how they were kind of keep going, translated to adulthood?
Yeah, I think like, and I don't know how true that is. I don't have the data.
I don't know. Reunions are a weird thing, right? Because one of the guys, like somebody said that somebody had told them that they waited 20 years to apologize to them for something. I don't know what they were, but that's what they had said, right? And I was like, man, that's interesting because you never think about you never know what people are thinking about, or how they perceive you to be. It's
funny that you said like that. I've been waiting 20 years because the way you were going was like on a good side. Like when I apologize for blah, blah, blah. I was watching some video where some dude walks into a barbershop and his high school bully is in there, right?
Oh,
and
seen
he was
that.
like, "Oh, I've been waiting for this," like, and then he got up and he was like, still a really big dude. Like fuck. He was like, "Oh, well, I'm kidding." Like,
I was just bullshitting. I don't want no smoke. No, and it wasn't anything like that. Everybody you walked in and you see people that you haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Although. My guy did throw those kind of like pseudo, if you will, like reunions last year, but it wasn't
Small
everybody.
gatherings.
This one was a lot of people. And it was just cool. You know, you go in there and I mean, everybody's just kind of like, it's a catch up kind of thing and what you've been up to and how you doing. And it's interesting to see how people, where their lives are at and in regards or
which you can't see on Facebook anyway, like as we've talked about.
Well, you can, but people, you know, you get to hear it from the horse's mouth, you know, so to speak.
It's true.
And I had a really good time. No complaints. I thought it was really fun, really nice to do. I mean, it's crazy that it's been 20 years, which kind of goes with what you're talking about, how time just keeps passing by so fucking quickly.
Yep.
And like, you don't know, you got to start making the best of all the time you get. Like our pops just copped the boat, right? Which is awesome. Give round of applause for Pops. And
I like the chime underneath it.
Yeah.
Don't ask me why. I just like it. Well, shout out
I
Pops,
don't know why,
man.
but I do. He, yeah, but he's been wanting to buy a boat for as long as I can remember, and he finally copped one. And I think it's important to remember to try to enjoy things. You know, moms as she gets older doesn't like to do more. The older she gets, the less she likes to do.
Yeah.
Right. And I hope that at some point it kind of like
well, here's the thing. At some point, that's all she's gonna be able to do is you have to go and do things like, and he's not gonna force her to go and like do all the shit. Like, she doesn't want to even be in the RV.
She says she didn't want to be on the boat.
He doesn't have an RV, but he wants one, and she doesn't want to be involved with it.
Yeah, she said she didn't want to be in the boat. I'm like, I would hope that, like for me, I like there was a long period where I didn't really want to do much, but like as I get older, the more I want to get in. I want to do things. I want to enjoy stuff. I want to hang out. I just want to be able, because you're only here for so long, you know, and you're even here. Your ability to really hang, so to speak, is even shorter of a time.
True.
So you only have so long to really truly enjoy things and live life. Like, you know, you see these
If we had like some dramatic like theme song.
She did the
music
more
where-
you know. Dun, dun, dun. But man, like you see these interviews on social media, the reels, you know, these guys will come up to people like, hey, you know, what's one of the biggest regrets you ever had, blah, 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 you know, some older folks. And some people are like, you know, I wish I would have traveled more when I was young. You know, I'm doing it now, but I wish I did it more when I was able-bodied or more able-bodied. You know, to go out on night, like to go do this reunion, right? It's, at the I guess at the 30 year, so which is crazy, would be a lot more difficult for us as a group, I would assume, to continue to do what we did yesterday, just keep drinking and hanging out. True. And that's why, like, I would have thought
there's some 48-year-old alcoholics.
No,
out there, you know?
well, there are, and not to say we wouldn't be able to, but there'll be less of us, and it'll be a lot. The night would have ended earlier, right?
It's probably true.
That's why I was like, people like, you going? I was like, literally, it happens only once every 20 years. You gotta go. You have to, because I don't want to look back like remember when you didn't go to prom, right? But your prom situation was different because your school was new. It didn't really have a big tradition or how it went about.
And I went and met up with people afterwards.
Yeah,
Anyway,
so
I just skipped the part where you paid, $1,000 to have a dance. So.
Exactly. But I did go to prom, and I was like, to me, it was a thing of, if I always told you, I was like, you might regret it going forward. If I didn't go to yesterday's reunion, because what would be even the sentiment that made me think, oh, I don't need to go there. Like, oh, I'm too cool for that, or I don't want to see these people. Like, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, if you like your graduating class, that's a good reason to go.
Yeah, I mean, even beyond that, like, there might be a couple people there is worth seeing, and a couple people that it was nice to go say hello to.
True.
I just don't want. I don't want to look back with regret. So, like, I think it's important to just kind of think about, oh shit, man, like, you know what? When is the next chance to see all these people? Or when is the next chance to go do that whatever thing it is, you know? If we talking about doing skydiving again soon. Like, I enjoy it. I mean, it's. I guess what I'm getting at is
you don't want to miss out.
We're just talking about, like, just wishing things away, right? So if you're gonna wish a week away, which sucks, at the very least, stay in the moment and enjoy the moments that aren't the ones you would want to wish away. enjoy them, kind of soak them in. And just kind of like yesterday.
This is like a whole remix of Life is a Series of Moments and Moments Past.
It's just yesterday I was next to my guy and I was like, man, you good? He's like, yeah, man. He's like, last time I didn't get the chance to kind of sit back and just take it in. So I sat back and took it in with him, right?
So there was beer
I was like, you know what?
Yep.
I was like, you are abso-fucking-lutely right. So I just sat back and I was like, I just kind of like every face, just like, I was like, man, this is actually really fucking cool.
You get like a flashback to high school days and shit.
They
and
actually
just seeing them all as that age, kind of again, type of thing.
Well,
Or
it's kind of like how, for instance, mom sees us as children because that's what we see. Daniel is still young Daniel.
He still is though.
He is, but like you know what I'm saying. Like you still see him as that.
Yeah.
We'll always see the people that like. Everybody I went to high school with, I'll always see them as that high school self, just now older. You know what I mean? But
you'll know them as you've always known them.
You always see them that face, right?
Yeah.
No matter what. It's just getting older is an interesting, interesting thing. You know what? I thought about it the other day. I was like, man, because I was like, man, I'd be going through that, like, what do I want to do and shit. I'm like, wait the fuck a second. Am I going through a midlife crisis?
Yo, it's very possible. At this
I was
age.
like, what the fuck? I'm already at the midlife crisis stage. I remember watching Home Improvement and Tim was going through a midlife crisis. I was like, I would have never thought I'd be
fucking
that
snitch.
Fucking Tim Allen, that snitching ass motherfucker.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that shit. Let me tell you something.
Nah, I feel you. The other day I was like, man, we should get like a what do you call it? Like a big coach bus style thing, right? And charge people for just trips back and forth to like states that we want to go to. Fill up the bus.
You mean Greyhound?
No, not great.
What the fuck?
Well, I mean, they have like bus lines.
They do have that, I guess, huh?
You know? And I think...
You know what we should do? We should build a train that goes from here to downtown, to the other neighborhoods in the city, to the universities.
Yeah, that doesn't exist.
That doesn't exist yet, right? We'll just use those tracks over there.
No, but like people actually start that, you know? They get like one of those big ass buses. And
I say we go do Hollywood tours, but since we know nothing about Hollywood, just pretend. Like this 7-Eleven was once used in a drive-by scene in Boys in the Hood. They wouldn't know.
It's true.
They literally would.
But they have a lot of those already. They don't have Chicago tours.
No, but we can
stay out of that neighborhood. Stay out of that neighborhood.
Just stay in the van in the parking lot. Like, all right, so we're not gonna go there. So we're just gonna stay here. Also, that one you don't want to drive.
We can drive a half a mile up this block and then turn around and come back.
This is a place you don't want to go, so we're not gonna go there. You also want to be here, so we're just gonna make a left. But no, in Hollywood, we can just like off Hollywood Boulevard. We can like sell these off like. Right off out the airport and shit. Like, you guys want to go see cool shit? Like, we got a van, right? And we take people.
It sounds like you're setting them up for a kidnapping, and if I was them, I wouldn't come with you.
Yo, one of the crazy. So when me and Vivi were in the Bahamas, right? In Freeport. And it's my first time out in the Caribbean. First time ever doing anything like that. And it's the first day. I would later break my foot that day. But so we
vacation memories, man.
Vacation memories. We're docked, and it's in Freeport. So at the port they've got little shops and whatnot. And I grab a Heineken, so I sit down and I'm just sitting drinking. And Vivi, there's a cab driver, right, in a van, and it just seemed like I was like. For some reason, Vivi goes to ask him if he's like, hey, you guys need to go somewhere? And I'm like, how does he know we need to go somewhere? Right? But like also
maybe where we want to be right now.
Yeah, but also maybe because of the fact that that's what he does, right? So like he could just tell tourists because obviously we're not from there. I don't look like I'm from the Bahamas.
But see, that's the problem is that he can tell you're a tourist, right?
Yeah.
And then you're you're trying to kidnap me and think I have money because I'm American because I don't.
So I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So
my podcast has not popped off.
Vivi went to go talk to him, right? Sir, I have no money. I promise. I talk shit on the microphone and nobody listens. So Vivi goes to talk. She's like, all right, come on, babe. I was like, are you sure about that? And she was like, yeah. I was like, cool. So I was like, can I bring my Heineken? So we go in there. I'm drinking my Heineken. Yeah, I'm being cool as shit. He's like, don't buy the weed from these guys over there. Just do this over here, you know.
Giving you the lay of the land.
Yeah. And he dropped us off at this beach, and me and Vivi got on jet skis and whatnot. But it's funny because, I was like, for about half that cab ride, because we're just driving, I was like, why does it even look like? It looks like we left the Bahamas. I don't even know how you would do that since it's water fucking locked. There's no way away.
It's so funny because
I was like, are we in Iowa now? What the hell?
Because as much as you don't trust some of those type of services in your own city, like you automatically have more of a distrust when you go abroad.
But you have to have even more trust. Like you have to be like, I don't trust this, but I have to trust you. Right? There's not much else I can do.
I would like his story corroborated to some degree, Hey, you know him? Is he a cab driver?
Do you have references?
Can I get in the car with him and not die?
Do you have a reference sheet I can possibly call some folks, make sure that
shows like The Simpsons have made me feel like if you go abroad and you take their public transportation of any sort, it's actually just a front for their kidnappings.
Yeah, I think media has really fucked the view of what we think of a lot of places. Even our own fucking city.
It's true. Yeah, I think Dave posted something to his story. Where like how the media portrays Chicago.
You know,
like,
Dave.
You know that guy. And then like how Chicago actually is, and it's like with a really aggressive breed of dog and a really like tame.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like yeah, it's kind of. I mean, there are certainly like kick-ups where we are that aggressive dog of a city, but like
what are they?
That aggressive dog of a city.
No, the thing before it. What did you say they were?
Kick-ups.
Kick-ups?
Yeah, like it kicked up a notch. Let's kick it up a notch.
Oh, I don't think you used it right the first time.
I think you just were confused the first time.
No, the first time
I think it's used perfectly fine.
I think it depends the context in which you use it, and to say that they had a few kick-ups.
I think it works perfectly fine.
Also, you did say the wrong word last time. I don't remember what word we were thinking of.
You can't even. First of all,
what was the word?
It was Chano Lakes,
and you called it Channel Lakes.
No.
Yes, Mike.
That's not what he put in there. He said Channel Lakes, and I was like, I looked and I said Chano.
You said
and
Channel
then he said
Lakes.
It could go either way.
No, it couldn't. Mike, stop lying to this motherfucker. You know it's not true.
Did you watch? Did you listen?
Yeah, it said Channel Lakes.
I did not say Channel Lakes.
You can't speak, and that was proof.
I can speak perfectly fine.
Well, that day you were terrible at it. Channel.
I'm telling you, you're wrong.
Hey, how come we only have 54 views? What the fuck is going on?
Hey, I don't know, man, but shout out to the new people who decided to subscribe,
I don't understand.
It's a weird situation.
How are you subscribing? It doesn't appear to be that anybody's watching.
I don't know. Maybe this is a YouTube thing. Maybe they have changed what they consider a view.
Ain't nothing but some YouTube, baby. Fuck YouTube first and foremost, because they keep throwing us in the depths of hell of the algorithm.
How long we got to be here?
We are probably in the back corner of the drawer that has all sorts of shit in it.
We're taking up a whole terabyte of your bandwidth and shit. Like,
help us, help you, help me, and Adam a little bit.
And forever I will hate the word bandwidth. So now that I associated with you, I hate you too.
I use that damn word a lot now. Actually.
I hate it. It's why we couldn't continue IBL. I don't understand what that fucking reason actually meant.
It means that they don't have enough resources to go around.
It was 2012, right? So that's when we did it.
Yeah.
And then they said we don't have the bandwidth to continue. And I said we pay to play, so you can get the courts. You only keep like a very base level score and stats.
But he did like the little journalism thing.
Listen,
and
he did. I don't care. I wanted to play.
We could start a league. La Liga.
Let's get a space, put a court in, and then start a league of our own.
I think that would be fun. I don't know how much money is involved, though, because I also have to work, and that seems like a lot of stuff we have to do.
It doesn't feel like that much, Like, you get the court, and then you, like, use basketball rules,
How often does Majid deviate from the haircut that he gives you? Like, how often is it different? Most times?
How often is, like
is
hair
it
itself?
Yeah, like, how often does he change
I thought you meant, like, from, like, conversation to conversation in the middle of...
No. How often does he, like, is the fade a little lower, a little higher?
It's always a little bit different.
It is, right? You're like, what the fuck this time? Like...
Because he just, like...
goes around his own shit.
He's done it for so long. He just has his way, right? So he'll like go around your head with like the blade and get like a position where he wants the fade to really start, and then just go. I watch him like change the blades on his head, and I'm like, I still don't understand.
Do you look in the mirror while he's cutting?
Yeah.
See, my barber, he turns. I'm never looking in the mirror.
Well,
So he's turning.
if he has something on TV,
I gotta be honest. I prefer to look in the mirror though.
If there's something on TV, because they have one in the shop, and usually it's like there's not a lot of people there when I go, which is weird because it's a Saturday morning.
Yeah, they must not be super busy.
Most of them do it like by appointment.
Got it.
So, but like he'll position me to watch the TV if he knows like I'm interested in watching whatever's on there. But usually I'm just.
Oh, see, he's always got me turning and shit. They got a TV and stuff, and like, I don't know, like it's funny because sometimes you'd look facing the other guy that's getting his haircut, and you'd be like, and you guys are just like, just a quick nod, and sometimes you get in conversation, and sometimes it's just awkward, and you get contacts from
even if you get in a conversation, it feels like it's an awkward. Like if you looked at it, if you were watching this happen, and then like two random people who were getting a haircut were turned to each other, and then they're like, "Oh, what's happening, man?" And then like they had to have a conversation.
And then they turn you away to the other guy. You'd be like, and now you're like, because you don't want to move your head because you don't want the haircut to get fucked up.
That's the worst thing too, because he likes to talk while he's cutting your hair.
Man!
And it's like, man, I don't want to like when I talk, I probably move my head quite a bit.
I used to hate Majid. Once took a call the whole time he was on my haircut. I was like, so he was like this. I was like, Majid, if you cut my shit crooked, I'm gonna fuck you up.
He's looking at your head sideways. That's hilarious.
He's got the phone like this. I'm like, if you don't get the fuck off that phone.
How are you doing a sufficient job? And somehow he was probably doing a sufficient job.
He did a good job, yeah. No, I asked because the last haircut, my barber, he did it like a little different than usual. Like it was like a lower fade, and it wasn't as like I like it like at zero. I like that fucking I like it zeroed. So I was like, all right, so like, but it's still a nice haircut. It just deviates. Like sometimes it feels like it gets lower and lower. It's like, hey man, bust that thing up a little bit more real quick. You know what I mean? Give it a kick up.
Yes.
It's a stupid word.
The kick up. You know, I don't know why you think it's a stupid word. It's like it's just a word.
What percentage of the time of your haircut is your eyes closed?
Let's see. Anytime I think that
he might look at you in the eyes. No. Anytime he's right in front of my face, I'll be like this.
No. Anytime there's a probability of hair falling in my eye, right? So like if he's anywhere near the front of my head.
But that's almost always a probability.
No.
Trimming beard.
Because he's going around the side most of the time, and then like if he does like.
So your eyes be open during that time, or you just be like you ever seen people fall asleep on the chair?
It's very easy to do.
Like, no, it's fucked up though. What if they right up? Just
yeah, and then anytime he's like at the front of my face, like,
isn't it funny because they always got the direction of your head, so they'd be like,
yeah, pretty much. That's like when they're like, that's when I've been most physically abused. Just moving my head around
like what is this?
I'm like, man, you put a lot of pressure on my head. Right?
Sometimes I feel like I'm pushing back.
Got some strong ass fucking hands and shit.
They be trying
doing this shit for 30 years.
When they hit your like shit with the blade and like sometimes their finger be right on your lip. You be like, but like get your finger off my lip, dog. They're like
the trials and tribulations of a haircut,
haircuts are funny.
Yeah,
haircuts are funny. Are your arms in the apron or outside the apron?
They're in the apron.
They're in the apron.
Yeah. What's the point of?
You ever had to scratch your balls while you or rearrange it? You be like,
I think that's happened to anybody who's ever been there.
Who has a dick in there? Yeah, there. Yeah. So they're in the apron. Do you ever take them out? How do you play with your phone?
No, I keep the phone on the side.
You don't mess with your phone during haircuts either?
No, which is why we talk so much. He talks. But like if somebody I know, because that's like local to our neighborhood we grew up in. So if somebody I know walks in, like I'll take it out, dap them up, whatever.
They put it right back in?
Usually, yeah.
Really? So you like this? Where are your hands? What are you doing?
Just keep them on the side.
Where do you put your hands while you're doing it? Are you just like...
No.
Like a doctor?
The armrests.
Like, doctor, are you ready? Yes. Let's go.
The armrests are also underneath the cape. And
why do they do this?
The armrests are also underneath the cape.
Okay, so what's the etiquette you have when, let's say, Majid is doing something that doesn't feel normal in the haircut, right? Like where you're like, wait a minute. Is he doing a different haircut than I normally get? Have you ever had that thought?
No, but I always look at the haircut skeptical in the process.
Yeah, it's always like I don't trust you.
I'm like, where are you going with this? And I'm like,
where are you going with this? Are you gonna do what? Why are you? Are you intentionally fucking my hair up? Like, You ever be like, wow, you're really high on that fade right now. What's going on there?
Have you been studying some new methods? Is this part of like a...
Do you remember what you usually give me? Do you think I'm somebody else?
No, I'll say Majid has been very good about that. He should. Like, if I walk in there...
fucking 40 years.
If I walk in there and he doesn't know what kind of haircut I want and doesn't have the slightest idea...
You're going to stop going.
I'm Majid.
I think it's done. I think it's done. I think it's
well, he's talking about trying to be in Iraq again next year. So he said that, of course, for the last year and a half.
Yeah, he's been saying it for a fucking.
But the problem is that he's done it in the past. So I know he'll go. I just don't know when. It's like every time I call him, I'm like, "Yo, you cutting hair?" I'm always concerned. He's gonna be like, "Actually, no. I'm at the airport right now."
Goodbye, Adam.
Oh, I got the call from my country.
I love my country.
Yeah, that's what he's waiting on, I think.
A call?
It's
Majid? It's Iraq.
Yo, if
the whole country, yes, we're calling you right now.
If Majid wrote,
everybody's on a Zoom call.
If he wrote like a book of his stories, like Majid has like a fable.
I would love for him to do an audio version of it.
Majid has
when I left Iraq,
he has a very storied past. Like,
dude, if Majid's story checks out, that man is literally the most interesting man in the world.
Yeah, they got the wrong guy from Dos Equis.
That dude is something else.
So
if 50% of the stories he's told, he'd still be close in the running.
So with that, the country thing, he served in the military there, and apparently they're like,
yeah, I know they owe him money, a house, and shit.
So he's been saying this for a while now. But like once eventually he like gets that, evidently, then he's gonna go and just stay there for unprecedented.
What
period.
country is just offering people? Actually, Greece and Italy are offering people money to go live there. I'll gladly leave this bitch. I mean, I don't know what the quality of life over there is.
All I know is they got some fire-ass pizza. And
how do you know that for a fact?
Because that's where it started.
That doesn't mean anything.
It does.
Doesn't mean anything.
It really matters.
Not even a little bit.
It does.
It doesn't.
And we've taken pizza and done a different American twist to it. You know.
Like margarita pizza is a lot of what you get out there, I think.
Yeah, more or less.
I'm not a margarita guy so much.
That's like Europe.
Margarita pizza is too floppy. I like a pizza that has a firm bottom.
They have like a normal like thin crust.
I like my thing to my pizza have a nice ass.
They got the typical like thin crust, cornstarch on the bottom type of shit there too. But
I don't think they do it as crispy though.
Actually, they serve it as like a whole meal.
You've never been to Italy.
And it's like a European, like Europe wide, they do a lot.
Yeah,
of
but
that.
Italy is not Europe wide. Italy is Italy. The other places are a different place.
Well, I'm just telling you, they serve like the pizza as like a whole meal. Like this one pizza is for you.
I understand that, but what I'm saying to you is it's not as a crispy bottom as you would like.
I think you might be surprised.
I don't think so. I think they're floppy and doughy.
All I know is when I was watching Everybody Loves Raymond and he went to Italy.
Yo, that looked that makes me want to live in Italy.
It looks like it was the best pizza that he's ever eaten in his life. And I don't even know what kind of pizza he's eaten in before that.
Dude, those episodes were just like really nice and lighthearted. I was like, man, I want to move to Italy.
Yeah, just different than here, you know?
It is. Fucking Captain Obvious over here. It's fucking different, you know? Like, it's just we're over there and we're over here, you know?
Hey, not every place that's not here is different than here.
Say that again, stupid.
Not every place that isn't here is different than here.
I know it's a good sentence, but it sounds stupid as shit.
Well, listen, man, be smarter, you know? Like,
be cleverer.
That wasn't meant to be clever. It's just what I'm telling you.
I hate that sentence.
I don't care. All I'm telling you is
that
I would like some
from here
fucking
is
pizza
there anyway,
Italy,
and it would be there if we didn't know it was here. And it's like, when I'm right, I'm right. But when I'm wrong, I could have been right, so I'm wrong. But I'm right, and I'm right anyway. I know that's not how it went. No. In that scene in Get Rich or Die Trying, when he pulled over the car on the side of the road, he threw it in park before the car was even stopped. Did you ever notice that? Yeah. It's sliding still as he's opening the door. He's like, I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. He's like, what? He's like, it's like when you shoot first and you ask questions. He's like, shoot, you just met him. I don't like motherfuckers moving behind me. I was like, me neither. But he's alive. Movement is necessary.
Yeah. Well, it depends. Like if I'm out in public and you're just doing some random movements behind me, I'm gonna keep an eye on you. You know.
Terrence Howard's role in that movie is some of the funniest shit. They meet in the shower, naked as shit, having a knife battle, right? And like it was fun. That scene's funny because they were actually in slippery soap, and Terrence Howard was like, he was running away. One of the funniest scenes of all time, in my opinion, because then they meet each other, and then like it's almost comedy relief the whole fucking time.
Yeah, it was a pretty good movie, honestly.
Get Rich or Die Trying's awesome.
And the soundtrack to that.
Get Rich or Die Trying or 8 Mile, which is better? You can say it. Go ahead.
I don't know, man. Like 8 Mile is what 8 Mile is, and it came out. I guess did what it was supposed to do, and it's Eminem, and he had
8 Mile's really dope. Actually, a very dope movie.
It is.
But I don't know. Maybe I think I like Curtis Jackson's story a little bit better.
Yeah,
and I like 50 more now too. I mean, I've always loved 50, but I like how 50's evolved to this like matter-of-fact speaking, very fucking knowledgeable and wise within the game.
I actually thought it would have been dope to have some tickets to this concert.
Man, it's so expensive, bro. So expensive.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have gone too. They said he sold like millions of tickets.
They were huge overseas, man.
Dude, he is massive overseas. He does all sorts of arenas out there.
Yeah.
Crazy arenas, big ass.
Yeah, I think he
20,
goes
30,
to the UK a lot and shit. Yeah.
You know, they were trying to get me to go to Chappelle. He's here in October. And I have a thing with comedians. I don't know. I don't really want to see a comedian and be in the fucking third row. I actually
get mad at myself when I think about this sometimes because not necessarily, but like we have a fucking comedy club like 20 minutes away.
And you don't ever go.
And I would just like to go there more often, just hang out, watch comics, talk shit. And
why don't you just tell me? We'll just meet there and go. Stupid.
Well, I mean, then let's do that shit, you know?
I'm with it. No, but okay, so tell me if this is a wrong way of thinking. When it comes to being in a comedy show, I feel like the more intimate, the better. Right? The closer you are.
That's why I like this other one. Yeah, it's like pretty small.
Whatever, Chicago Comedy Sports, whatever, at Schaumburg, right? We've done that one. So Chappelle's at the United Center, and the tickets are expensive, as you would imagine.
Definitely.
And they were trying to get me to go, but they will be at the third row. I mean, the third deck. Like, I don't really want to hear his joke through the speakers. I can just watch it at TV.
Well, yeah, because I guess. But like, if you're like at the front of those rows, it's usually not too bad.
Well, it depends on where the stage is situated. Yeah. But like, I'd much rather just like watch it on TV. Like, I don't really want to hear it through the speaker. I don't feel like that's fun. I want to be in a room and hear them talking.
It's true.
You know?
Shouldn't be more than like 2,000 people, 2,500 people in the room.
Yeah. Even that, like House of Blues, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't really want to be at a place where it's so big that it feels like I'm not even watching.
Unfortunately, he's talking about stadium status. Well, although Dave Chappelle does a lot of smaller shows.
Yeah, you just got to kind of like, you got to be lucky and just be there.
And he does a lot of them in Ohio, so it's like.
And he does a lot in Ohio, I think Texas now too, with Joe Rogan.
Oh, they go to Austin at the.
Joe Rogan's got a cool ass club out there.
What do they call it? The Mothership, right?
The Mothership.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't. They got Vivi to go. I kind of decided I don't really want to. I just don't want to. A part of me is regretting not going. The other part of me doesn't really care. I've seen Dave Chappelle perform at a long time ago at the Congress, and it was a smaller room, and he was closer to us. Like, I mean, he wasn't necessarily far, but like I'd say like 100 feet from us. You know, it was cool. Like, and I mean, not to say I wouldn't want to watch him perform again because it's Dave Chappelle. But I'd rather be in like a small room, hear him perform, and just be close so I can see everything. When they're far enough, you don't even see what he's doing. Like, you don't see facial expressions, you don't see mannerisms, which also are important within the comedy spectrum.
Yeah, but that's why, like, I think even to add credence to the like more intimate show, I think when he does those. He'll like hang out a little bit and like have afterthought, you know, hanging out, smoking cigarettes and shit in the middle of the stage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To see that, like, to be able to, when he takes that drag of a cigarette, or there's, I believe a lot of that is intentional. It's within the show. It's like it's almost like in Friends. I saw Joey. He was he was auditioning for something with Jeff Goldblum, and he was doing it. He was like, he stares at you, long pause, right? Like with the parentheses. But like, I believe that he was like, you're not supposed to say long pause. But Dave Chappelle, I believe in his mind while he writes, I believe he puts an asterisk, in parentheses.
He sets the scene.
Take
for
drag, take drag for audience. Give audience a second to think about it while taking a drag. Those types of things.
Yeah.
And if you're far away at the top of the fucking stadium, trying to make out like what color he's wearing, like that's not to me fun. Maybe on the screen here, but why would I just not do that at home?
It's true.
So I mean, I could be wrong.
It's like there's certain things like I wouldn't want to go to certain sporting events if I'm going to be a certain distance away. Like I might as well just watch it at home.
Watch it at home, man. And I guess it just depends on who you are. But for me, it doesn't warrant me spending money on that.
I just want to like we're in a pretty good comedy hub in Chicago, right? So like I want to take advantage of that more. Be like
Second City shit,
places where people go up and like get short spots every Wednesday or whatever, and they're trying to like showcase their talent.
There's a lot in
you got city. Like the Giants that show up sometimes and like whatever, like try out their material on smaller crowds, and
there's a lot of those in the city. Yeah. You just gotta, one, go there. And then two, you got to kind of just, I'm sure there's Facebook groups or Chicago, like
some underground.
Yeah, there's some way where they're told that, here's the open mics. And I'm sure Zach has a couple of suggestions too. So
true.
But without having really spoken about anything in general,
we've hit our hour
mark.
That's all right, man. We don't need to talk about.
No, hopefully you enjoyed it.
Shout out to Pops one more time, man. Get that fucking thing on the water.
I'm very proud and happy for Pops, man. He deserves. It's a dream realized, and if anybody out here has ever realized they dream, small or otherwise, it's a thing to celebrate and be happy of and be grateful. So
it's true.
If you got a dream out there and you're achieving it, man, just know that Kasson Ave supports you.
Yeah, man.
And
applause for you,
thank you. We appreciate y'all. And that being said,
thank you all for tuning in to episode number 189. That some of my blunders I catch
somebody. She's a
Gotcha. Yeah, thanks for watching Kasson Avenue, Not a Podcast, episode number 189. I did it better that time. We appreciate you tuning in. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Follow us on the places that we are, where we can be found in social media, which is everywhere. And we will come back for episode 190 next week.
Yeah, 10 away from 200.
Yeah, man.
If you guys have any suggestions or what you'd like to maybe see for a 200th episode, let us know. We're thinking about maybe a shirt or something like we usually do, but otherwise, just
like we did that one time.
Well, yeah. Well, we did it twice, but the first time we only did it for ourselves.
We did 50, 100, and then 2.
So 200 might not be the worst idea.
Yeah.
But let us know. Otherwise,
man, we're going to catch y'all later. You know what I mean?
Holla! City of Squalor!